All right, enjoying this beautiful warm day. We're pretty much on the verge of a major war in the Middle East, and we don't have much control over it. That's like the worst part about it. It's like the American people don't even have a say. We don't have a say in things, and whatever's going to happen is going to happen. You know, I tried at the ballot box. A lot of us did, but ultimately, it doesn't matter who becomes president. The handlers step up and they basically decide what's what. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but we end up attacking Iran. It's just, for me, it's going to be proof that, hey, the empire is gonna get what it wants until the empire eventually fails. Part of me thinks that this whole situation in Iran is all about setting the U.S. to fail. I mean, that's the real thing. A lot of people think, oh, the Israelis they have too much influence, and I understand that, but I think the handlers, Trump's handlers, is almost like they're trying to destroy the United States and all national sovereignty so that they can bring in their own global entity. All right, here's what we know. It's the 9th day of this conflict. Israel is launching missiles at Iran. They're focusing on the central and southern region of Iran. Iran's launching missiles at Israel. So far, 25 Israelis have been killed. Over 2,500 have been injured. In Iran, 400 people have been killed. Around 3,000 or so have been injured. The foreign minister of Iran came out and said that if the U.S. gets involved, it's going to be very, very dangerous. Russia's also issued some warnings, but I mean, what are they going to do? But the French, they're apparently offering some type of negotiation. They're offering to help in the negotiation. Turkey is also offering to help in the negotiations, but I think we're pretty much beyond the negotiations. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But as of now, there's reports that B-2 bombers are headed over the Pacific towards Guam. They're headed towards the area. B-2 bombers, of course, they can carry multiple B-61 nuclear warheads, but they also carry conventional weapons. They can carry actually 2 GBU-57 30,000-pound bunker buster bombs. Those are bombs that we've been hearing a lot about. They can carry, each one of those aircraft can carry 2, and apparently there's multiple B-2 bombers headed over the Pacific, and that's the situation. So, all right, it looks like Trump is meeting with his national security team today. I hope Tulsi Gabbard's involved. I don't see how she could not be involved. I know they've had some disagreement recently, and she sort of backtracked on some of the things she said. And oh boy. Anyway, so you guys share your thoughts. I'm still enjoying life. Okay. Yes, it's concerning what's going on in D.C., what's going on in the Middle East, but I'm still enjoying life, and I encourage you guys to prepare for emergencies, but also enjoy. You know, spend time with your family if you have access to them. Do your best to give yourself a break every now and then. You know, I go to the movies a lot. I mean, a lot. I recently saw what was it? 28 Years Later, which was a pretty good movie, but it's not the movie a lot of people thought it was going to be. I can imagine by the advertisement, people thought it was going to be a straight up horror movie, straight up zombie movie. And it was a zombie movie. But, you know, in this movie, I will say this. The movie was more like a coming of age story than actually a hardcore zombie movie. It's a good movie, and obviously the zombies play a key part in it, but it's just not what people were probably going to expect. Just like in that movie, The Materialist, which I also enjoyed. It's a good romantic movie, but the advertisement sort of sold it as a romantic comedy, and that was not what it was. And I think that could become problematic, trying to sell these movies as one thing and people get in theaters and it's something else. It's still a good movie, but it's not the movie that people thought they were going to see. What other movies sort of did that? It's a number of movies that are kind of doing that, and they have to be careful that they don't really piss people off. Anyway, I'm going all in on Glock 21. I noticed at the store recently, one of the gun stores, they did a police trade-in, a bunch of police trade-ins. And I'm thinking about buying some more. I have so many magazines for this. I'm definitely going to go with a Glock 21. I'm not going to go with a Gen 5. I don't see the point of spending extra money for the front slide serrations, and I'm not going to use the optics, so what's the point? I don't mind the finger grooves. I like Gen 3, and I saw a lot of Gen 4, so you guys can share your thoughts on the Gen 4. Do you think the recoil spring is that much better than Gen 3? I'm super comfortable with Gen 3. They had some Gen 3s, at least one Gen 3 that was in really good condition, but it didn't have any night sights. But they also had some Gen 4s that did have night sights that weren't in quite as good condition as that Gen 3, but they're still pretty decent. So yeah, now's a really good time to get guns. Terrible time to sell, but if you want to buy a gun, a used gun at least, you can get some really good deals, especially on Glocks. So that's something to think about. So you guys, share your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And don't forget, the future belongs to those who prepare for it today.